Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of your Polyglot Academy. In this new video where we're going to talk about seasons, months, days of the weeks, and we're also going to introduce the topic of compound nouns, which is also quite important for the German grammar. So let's start. We're going to start with the seasons. So in German, as we already discussed in the last video, we indicate all the seasons with a masculine definite article. So der. So here are the seasons: der Herbst, the autumn, der Winter, the winter, der Frühling, the spring, und der Sommer, the summer. And while talking about seasons, we know that they are always preceded by the preposition in dem, which is also expressed as im. Here you can see some examples. If we would like to say in summer, then we say im Sommer or in dem Sommer. If we would like to say in winter, then we say in dem Winter or im Winter. And here is an example sentence. Im Winter gehen wir Ski laufen, which means that in winter we go skiing. So it is pretty important. Now, following on, we're going to discuss months. The months of the year in German are as following: Januar, Februar, März, April, Mai, Juni, Juli, August, September, Oktober, November und Dezember. And they are very similar to the seasons because they are also preceded by the preposition im, dem, or simply im. Here you can see some examples. Im Mai, which means in May. And there are also two sentences. Im September fange ich die Schule an, which basically means that I start school in September. Or im Juni gehe ich im Urlaub. I'm going on vacation in June. So it's pretty important to know which preposition we're going to use, because if we're going to talk about months, then it's important to use the correct preposition. Following now, we're going to talk about the days of the week, and in German, we have Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch, Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag, Sonntag, which all mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's a difference between them and the seasons and the months, because they are preceded by the preposition an dem, which can also be expressed as am. Here and below you can see some other examples. In order to say on Wednesday, then we would say am Mittwoch, or simply an dem Mittwoch. On Saturday means consequently am Samstag, and if we would like to build a sentence, then we would say am Sonntag gehe ich in die Kirche, which means that I go to the church on Sunday. So knowing which preposition we use is pretty important. Now, here you can see some exercises, and I would please you to translate the sentences into German with the suggested elements. And it is very important that you know which preposition you use before doing these exercises. So please look at it another time and try to do them. Comment down below your solutions, and I will give you a direct feedback. Now, in the beginning, we said that we were also going to talk about compound words or compound nouns, so we're going also to talk about that. Now, what are compound words? Compound words are basically those nouns which are formed by the union of one or more words, each of which has its own meaning. And this is something which happens pretty a lot in German, because you basically have two different words, such as in this example, der Zug and der Führer, which mean the train and the leader. And we basically try to make a union out of these two words in order to make a new word which has its own meaning, and the meaning of this new word is kind of a mix between the meaning of the first one and the meaning of the second one. So in this case, the word that we're going to form is der Zugführer, which means the train conductor, and it has both a connection with the word Zug, because it has a connection with train, and with the word Führer, because the train conductor is kind of a leader of the train. So in German, it's pretty funny to build these compound words, and it's also pretty useful because it happens all the time. You can see another example. We make a union out of the words das Haus, which means the house, and die Frau, which means the woman, in order to build the word die Hausfrau, which means the housewife. And it's kind of logic, because the housewife is kind of a woman, die Frau, which stays at home, das Haus. So it's kind of funny to build these new words. Well, another thing which is quite important to discuss is the gender of the compound word. And it's important to notice that the gender of the compound word is simply going to be the gender of the second word we're using, or the last word if we're using more than two words. So in this case, we can see that the gender of the second word being used is feminine because we have die Frau. So because of that, the gender of the compound word is also going to be feminine. And lastly, here's another example. If we have the word das Haus, which means the house, and das Tier, which means the animal, then the compound word that we're going to build out of that is going to be das Haustier, which means the pet. And if you think about that, a pet is basically an animal which stays at home, or an animal which can stay at home without doing any damage. And this is the meaning of compound words. Picking basically two words and building another one, building a new one with a new meaning, but connected to the meaning of both the two words we picked. If we would like to use compound words, then this is also what can happen. A very long word which has a very large meaning. So that might be also a consequence of that. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.